Sector Wars, play Astro Blaster.
If you destroy my baby,
Intruder alert. The intruder must not escape.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight.
you will need a torpedo.
Prepare to qualify.
Oh, warrior needs food badly.
Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair, and this was created by a company called Westone and Sega in 1988, and it is the third game in the Wonderboy series. This was suggested by YouTube user Arctic Dreamers Rapture, and the first game and I guess this one were released in US arcades. The second one was not, but the first three were arcade games. The second one was just only released in Japan as far as I know. A number of the games in the Wonderboy series also had Sega Master System releases, and they were probably released on other ports as well. I don't know how many Wonderboy games there are. I believe I only saw the first one in an arcade. I don't remember where or when. But you can play two-player simultaneous play if you like. The first player is named Leo, and he's Wonderboy. And the second player is named Princess Pura Prill. I didn't come up with these names, folks. But much like in the first Wonderboy, you have a life bar, and simply by existing, it will go down piece by piece, and it has 14 units to the bar. And in order to replenish your life, you need to collect fruits that will appear here and there, like that one. And I will only play one player. But it feels very much the same as the original Wonderboy, with floating platforms and various enemies, except you can collect weapons, and it's not quite a prehistoric feel as in the first Wonderboy. The various weapons that you can pick up from defeating certain enemies include a ring shot, which is a spread shot. I like that one a lot. There's a shield, and it's simply a rotating shield around you. I think you can still get killed if you plow into a bunch of enemies head on. You can get a drill shot, and that might be my favorite. You hold down the fire button and it's just rapid fire. It keeps going and going and going. Don't worry about these platforms dipping below the water. They don't. So you'll still stay afloat even if it dips as low as it can. There is also a fireball which can shoot in front of you and behind you, although mostly in front of you. And there is also a missile shot, which is a little stronger. When you get to the end of the first half of a level, or a round, you will see a giant dinosaur skull, and you walk through it. And note that there's the rapid fire one, I like that. And there's the fireball one. And there's the shield. Your weapon of choice does not last very long, and you have to find another power-up icon shortly after, and there will be a boss fight at the end of the second half of a level. And there I ran out of my special weapon. This is your default weapon. You just have a regular shot. It's not very powerful, not very remarkable. Many of the boss fights will take forever, it seems, and they're very hard. I'm not a fan of this game. It gets too hard with the boss fights later on. You can get a maximum of, I think it's 5,600 points. You don't get like a special bonus for having not lost any life. And note that you can't pick up fruits normally in the second half of a level. Your energy will not drop automatically either, like it does in the first half of each round. There are a total of 14 rounds. Dear God, this game takes forever. Here is like the only instance I can think of where there are rocks that can trip you up, and those were in the first Wonderboy game. And you'd lose a little bit of energy by landing on a rock or running into one. There's various different settings throughout all the levels. This is a jungle type of setting with snakes. And sometimes you can free a princess. Even if your energy bar is full, touching an enemy directly can kill you. And you'll see at the bottom left of the screen, there is a sword, and that's how many lives you have left. That's the marker. That princess, if you free her and touch her, she may give you 1,000 points, or she may give you temporary invincibility. Yikes. I love that spread shot. And there's the princess again. I failed to get points or temporary invincibility from her. Now we'll go to the second half of round 2. Like I said, there are a total of 14 rounds. Real pain in the ass. And the boss on round 2 is a serious pain. It's a giant snake, and it takes forever to kill. And he likes to shoot a lot of bullets at you. And yeah, the bullets in this game are colored beach balls. This game's weird. Well, I have the, look at all those shots he fires. You can't just destroy his head to kill him. You have to turn all of his body parts red. And that's total BS. That sucks. So you have to really, really watch out and try not to get shot. He'll reappear in certain places, and I'm not sure what the pattern is, if there is one. This boss really pisses me off. It takes forever to bring down. Fortunately, you're not timed in this game. Screw it. No, I'm not going to continue right there. But I will show you snippets of the remainder of the levels. Or rounds. Yep, all frickin' 14 of them. I'll put in my initials here. You get an extra life, I think maybe it's at every 100,000. I definitely never seen this in arcades. I did see the first one. Yeah, the company Westone, it's pronounced Westone, not West One. It's it's, yeah, their name is supposed to mean like a combination of West and Stone. And we'll just see me beating the boss here. Eventually I put on, well, here I put on, I think, invincibility or infinite energy cheat. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, the maximum amount of points you can get from remaining life after beating the boss is 5,600, and you can't get a bonus for perfect energy. Yeah, we'll just see parts of the remainder of the levels, and here in round 3 we go into this cave. And sometimes there will be rolling boulders that you have to jump over. Some are small and some are huge. Yeah, after each life, you get dropped right back into the action. And note that you're flying on the second half of each round. You're riding a dragon. This one, I believe, did get a Sega Master System release. Yeah, I'm only going to show you snippets of the remainder of the levels. Even if you pick up a weapon that you didn't want, you get points for picking up the icon. And I eventually gave myself a cheat that gives me a permanent weapon of some type. And here we face a bat boss. And you have to watch out for the bats he fires at you, and then shoot his head when you can. He's hanging upside down there. Yeah, that snake should not have been the second boss. That was a pain in the butt. I don't really care for this game that much. Kind of cutesy graphics, but yeah, a little too hard for the boss battles for me. Now we move on to round 4. There's those rolling boulders. And there's also an elephant. It takes a lot of hits to bring down. Whoops. If you're playing this in MAME and you put it on invincibility and you try to record it, it might not show through that well. Your character might be flashing. It might be hard to see him. So I put on infinite energy. And with infinite energy, you can still be killed if you come into direct contact with an enemy or fall off a cliff. And now the boss here is a honeycomb, a floating honeycomb, and it releases a bunch of bees. When you're playing around the first half of one, a common enemy in that half of the round will often show up in the second half of the round. And we saw some bees in the first half, and they're appearing here too. This boss isn't that hard, really. Well, I say that, but I put on the... Well, not only did I die, but I put on the cheat that gives me permanent specific power-up. And then, oh, that's right, then it has a second form. And you just have to kind of do a rotation around this bee to avoid the killer beach balls. And just keep firing so you'll be able to hit it. 5. We'll look at parts of that. You saw the... oh, yeah, sometimes, if I didn't mention it, sometimes there will be, a certain fruit that you can shoot multiple times, and it'll yield a bunch of little fruit. We saw that princess icon or whatever that you can collect, and it might give you some limited invincibility. Like that one. Well, I just got 1,000-point bonus was all from that one. But later on in the game there will be a spirit that will have a negative effect on you if you touch it. And, it can kill you, or it can drain your energy if it touches you, I believe. God damn it. Well, here is the boss of round 5, and it's a skull. It has this rotating shield. And even if you deplete its whole shield, it will still spit out more shield pieces. Not sure what these guys are supposed to be. Are they supposed to be Grim Reapers or something? I've got the weak regular shot. Whoops. Let's just kill this bastard and get it over with. God damn it, come on. Die already. And now here is a look at round 6. This game goes on way too damn long. We're back in a cave and we have declines and inclines. Yeah, you can destroy the boulders, but they require a lot of shots to destroy. And now we're going to go to the second half of round 6. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. If you enjoyed playoff football, enjoyed the end of the college season. My Oregon Ducks won the Rose Bowl. I don't think Justin Herbert is going to be that great a NFL quarterback, but happy that they were able to win that one. It's a pretty good game. This boss has these weird hands that switch positions. As long as you stay like to the far left and center, then you'll be out of danger. As long as you keep firing on that boss and watch out for projectiles. You get an extra life. Maybe I mentioned it. I think at every 100,000 points. There I have limited invincibility. Sometimes there will be little springboards. The platforms here are slippery. If you move on them and then stop, then you'll slide a little bit more. Was the bad spirit that can drain energy or kill you. And he tried to drain my energy, I think, but I had the cheat on that gives me infinite energy. Yeah, my least favorite weapon power-up has got to be the shield. I think it's crappy. This guy, what you really want to do is stay in the upper left. The rocks, the ice blocks that he fires at you, and notice that when you keep shooting a small one, it'll grow into a big one. The ice blocks will miss you if you shoot, especially if you shoot him enough to destroy him. And only once in a while a stray beach ball projectile can hit you from up there and just dodge out of the way. And we're going to look at parts of round 8. Yeah, like I said, there is a total of 14 rounds. Total crap. This game just goes on way too damn long. This is a weird stage. There's cactus balls. There's, I think there was vultures. Maybe other birds. Took place in like the Phoenix or something. Yeah, I hate this boss. This boss is a giant cactus head, and he can regenerate himself towards you. And he shoots out a bajillion killer beach balls. Yeah, too many pain in the ass boss battles. Again, fortunately, you're not timed, but they're still a pain in the ass. And now we're back in a cave, and we have bats, and we have these weird things that grow out of the ground. Take a bajillion shots to bring down. Sometimes if you get to a... Whoop, that was clumsy. Sometimes if you get to a... oh, I think those are slimes. And there's a giant boulder you have to jump across, or jump over carefully. Sometimes there will be a steep ledge that you need to jump to and you can't quite make it. Fortunately here, notice that he's clinging there. Fortunately there's like springboards usually, or platforms, to make you clear that. But if you jump at it and you don't quite make it, you'll hang. And you need to, I guess, wiggle the joystick and bash the buttons as quickly as you can to be able to climb up there. Really kind of sucks. And now we have giant bats that take extra shots to bring down, and then this boss bat. And he will, after shooting off a number of giant bats, then he will reappear after making a bunch of clones of him appear, and then you can shoot him. I do love that rapid fire laser when you just hold down the button and it just keeps shooting out. Very, very useful. Now we go through this little village area. There's that evil spirit thing again. These mushroom things, whenever you shoot one, it'll fire a beach ball. Yikes. Again, I've got infinite energy on. Now, yeah, you gotta take them all out, even if they're gonna shoot a beach ball at you. Yikes! And there is a bull that can charge at you. It requires a lot of shots to bring down there. And then we're gonna see the second half of round 10, or parts of it. And there's the mushrooms shooting a bunch of beach balls at me. And this is a weirdo boss. You gotta not let him squish you. Move out of the way when he's jumping. And at one point he'll jump backwards and he'll play a slot machine. And depending on what you get, he might fire off food items that you can actually catch and get your health restored with. And then on occasion he'll open up the top of the mushroom, or his head, or the mushroom cap, I'm not sure what you want to call it, but it's like his brain or something comes out and you need to shoot it. What were the designers smoking? Freaking weirdo game. I think maybe you get food items if the first slot wheel is a cherry. I'm not sure. And that's the end of the round 10 boss. Only 4 more friggin' rounds to go. Yikes, that almost drowned me. There are some platforms that will drop you into the drink. I think on this level. And, oh, my timing was terrible there. But yeah, you just saw the springboard. Doesn't make much of an appearance in the game. I hope 2020 is being particularly good to you. I'm here's the crab boss, and he has little crabs appearing at the top and bottom that will throw beach balls at you. Just kind of dodge them and move up and down and fire. Hopefully you'll have a laser. Yeah, the weapon that you pick up, you can't conserve it. Whoops. You can't conserve it by like not using it very often. It's timed. It will go away after a certain amount of time. Whoops. Alright, use the springboard. There's that evil spirit thing again. And there's that fruit. That rare fruit that you can shoot enough times and then touch it and it'll release a bunch of littler fruits. There's the bull charging at me. You can't shoot those worms or those snakes. They're moving too low. And we have these guys that just appear in a cloud of pink smoke. They're kind of annoying. Yeah, remember, getting hit by a projectile or something will cause you to lose a little bit of energy, but directly touching an enemy will kill you. Yeah, or an enemy's or a boss's shield. And now this boss has a fire shield rotating around him. You can't destroy all the pieces of the fire shield. It'll return, or the pieces will return. That's the end of that boss. Only 2 more agonizing rounds to go. And now we're in a crystal cave. Are these the cactuses? What are cactuses doing in a cave? Yep, there's a giant cactus head. What a weird freaking game. Yeah, I hope 2020 goes well for you folks. Yeah, I see he's wiggling, he hangs onto the edge, and it takes a whole lot of joystick wiggles and button presses to get him to climb the damn ledge there. It's so stupid. Well, I'm looking forward to having a new roommate in another month. The 500 bucks rent a month that I'll be getting. So I'm running out space in my house. And now here is the second to last boss of the game. Well, actually, the final round has 2 bosses. I hate that fist that follows you around. was that. Now we'll go to the final round. Yeah, my dog will definitely appreciate another person around the house because I don't really walk her enough. I try to show her some affection when I can. I'm gone a lot of the time at work. She sleeps on the couch, and that's pretty much all she does all day. Poor little girl. But this final round takes place in a space station, and then the second half takes place in actual space. And we've got these little UFO things that shoot fast lasers. And there will be, like I said, 2 bosses. And we'll scoot forward to the first one. It's a dragon, and its fire breath has a lot wider range than you would think it would have. Jesus! Let's just kill the damn thing. Notice that usually a boss will start turning red when it's just about dead, and now here's the final boss of the game. And it can hurt you with these lightning strikes. And they come from maybe 3 random different places. They won't automatically kill you, they'll just hurt you. Just scoot forward to me killing this guy. And now we're about to see the ending of Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair. Created in 1988 by Westone and Sega. Westone also made, I think it was called Rail, and licensed to Sega. I've done a video of that. You have to make yourself walk up and touch that thing, and then the game will end. But that is Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair. And yeah, the first Wonderboy game was seen in American arcades. The second one was seen in Japanese arcades, and it was called Wonderboy Monster Land, I think, or a Wonderboy 2 Monster Land or something, and that, I think, was on the Master System, and this probably was too. I never really played the Master System. I had the NES and then the Genesis, and I was perfectly happy with both. Never really played the Super Nintendo much. By the time I got tired of my Sega Genesis, I got a Sega CD, and then a few years later I got PlayStation. That was Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair, and this was suggested by YouTube user Arctic Dreamers Rapture. I apologize if I don't get to your requests in a timely manner sometimes. I've got things I gotta take care of. I got a house, I've got all sorts of little projects I gotta do around the house. Fortunately, nothing really expensive anymore. The house was built in like '57, but you really wouldn't know it by the inside. It looks a lot more modern than you'd think. I'm proud of the work I've done on the house. Long credits, kinda. But that's Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair. And yeah, the only Wonderboy game I'd actually come across was in the arcades, the first Wonderboy. I'd seen like Wonderboy Monster Lair and Wonderboy Monster Land, maybe others, on the shelves as a Sega Master System game, but I'd never played those. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. I hope 2020 is kind to you. Hope you stay warm. And now I'll put in my initials. Yeah, I think you get an extra life like every 100,000 points. This game really isn't my cup of tea. Those boss battles a lot of them are just way too hard and take forever. And it doesn't really need to be 14 rounds. But that was Wonderboy 3 Monster Lair by Westone and Sega in 1988. This is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will catch you later with another video. Stay warm, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.